Hello guys, gals and gamers, and welcome back to, what are we doing again? Talking about video games, a new concept on the internet. Anyway, before we begin, I would like to remind you guys to please like and subscribe. Also, comment down below. I really want to start a discussion with my videos, so commenting down, really something I look forward to, and really something I appreciate. If you want to be extra nice, I am a small creator, so I would be delighted to see if you would share my videos around. There are going to be new videos every Monday, so at least one video a week. Last week there was an extra video because of the Nintendo Direct. Go check that out if you want. But that is all for this. Let's get back into the actual topic of the video, which is of course having regional forms and making our own regional forms for Legends Arceus, Pokemon Legends Arceus, releasing this January. Weird release date, but really excited for the game itself. I'm going to be making 3 Pokemon in this video, and I'm just gonna explain their design. But before that, I would like to discuss 2 things. One, how exactly are modern Pokemon designed? And 2, what did I really consider while designing these Pokemon? And why did I choose these Pokemon? The Pokemon that I did choose. Why did I choose them? So yeah. How exactly are modern Pokemon designed? Despite contrary popular belief, they're not just random ideas. A designer just looking at, searching his pockets, and we're gonna make a Pokemon out of keychains and keys. Let's make that. That's a great idea. That's not how the design process goes. Even though that situation would be funny as hell. There are often quite a lot of inspiration sources for each Pokemon, even the weird ones, even like Klefki. And they're just not just random ideas, like, hey, this could work, a keychain maybe. No, that's not a thing that happens. There's a lot of effort into explaining how like this Pokemon came to existence, how this Pokemon lives, and how it fits in the region itself. And as I said, there are usually many inspirations behind even the simplest of designs. However, that said, bad ideas have always been a thing. Ever since Generation 1 with like Seal and Voltorb kind of weird and boring designs, to recent games with like Aromatiz and like Klefki, which many don't think is a really good idea for a Pokemon. And yeah, how did I design my Pokemon, or these Hisuian forms? Well, there's of course multiple inspirations, and I tried to somehow like fit all of these together somehow, so it makes sense why they are all here together in this one Pokemon. And they are based on, well, very Japanese things. Japanese culture, mythology, Japanese people, then of course winter, because Sinnoh, or the Hisui region, is one of the coldest places we have ever been in the Pokemon world. It's a very cold place. And then, well, the past, the game's taking place in the past, so of course like some past inspirations as well, and of course mixing them up with like other inspiration sources as well. Then what Pokemon I chose were Pokemon basically that would not make sense to be in the game other than maybe having a regional form. And they already did this kind of thing with Braviary, which is a very America bird. Now then they made it more winter themed, able to survive through the winter because it's a flying type, weak to ice, and then made it less American and more like the native people of Hokkaido that I will talk about later. But also wanted to just make cool typings that we have not seen so much before. There's no like completely new typings here, unfortunately. I couldn't think of any of those, but definitely Pokemon that are a bit unpopular, not the most popular out there. There's one popular Pokemon though. And then also wanted to make them useful in battle. So if it's a kind of a bad typing, there would be like a new move or a new ability that would actually make the Pokemon fun to use and good, maybe even in competitive battles. So that's something I also considered. But yeah, that was quite a lot of talking. Let's finally get into our first Hisuian form. And this is for Crocodile, the Generation 5 Pokemon. Now, the original Crocodile, it's a crook and a crocodile. It's kind of based on like the American style of gangster, you know, the type of you meet in a dark alley and it comes to you like, "Hey kid, what are you doing in this dark alley? Do you have any lunch money?" Or, you know, the adult version of that, whatever the adult version is. What I wanted to do with the design is base this new crocodile more on like the Japanese burglar. And you can clearly see inspiration of that with the whole scarf thing. Usually a stereotypical Japanese burglar for some reason wears like a scarf tied on its head. You might have seen this in anime or other cultural things that people wear scarves on their head, and that's kind of a disguise for Japanese burglars. And then they also kind of like wear bags where they just put all of their stolen goods in. And for Crocodile, I was kind of having difficulties figuring out like what would be a good reason for this Pokemon to wear a bag or something to put stuff in. And I think I should have actually started with that one. And first I thought about what kind of pouches do animals even have. You have kangaroos that have stomach pouches. Pokemon has done that with Kangaskhan, and some Pokemon have cheek pouches, which was done last generation with like Squavets and Greedent, both have cheek pouches. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe the tail could be somehow a bag, but Delibird exists. Then I started, for fun, I just looked around. I was about to scrap this idea altogether. And then I started looking around like crocodiles in mythology. And I found this Filipino folk tale about a crocodile spirit called the Buaya. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But what this crocodile spirit is kind of the Grim Reaper. And it's a crocodile that wears a coffin on its back. And this was very interesting. It basically sneaks up on you, steals your spirit, and then drags you and swims back to the underworld with you and your spirit. Now, this, first of all, very cruel, very dark, but Pokemon is no stranger to dark stuff. Have you seen the Pokemon Cemetery in the first generation? You know, and then this really fit well. We had a crocodile that has a thing on its back that puts stuff in that thing, and combine that with the criminal crocodile that we already have, a perfect combination. And you can see in the design I have, you can see small like plus marks is because the Japanese tend to also put like patterns on the scarves that the burglars wear. You can the eyes have changed to be more burglar like. The eyes are like dark red, which is like, oh, it's evil. And yeah, and the little tie also kind of looks like a mustache, which is cool. The coughing on his back doesn't really look like a coughing. I didn't have time to make back sprites, unfortunately. But there's also like the little hand like trying to escape. It's like a spirit hand trying to escape. Like, no, don't take me to the underworld. So yeah, type would obviously be Dark and Ghost, really cool. We have had Dark and Ghost types before with Sableye and Spiritomb, but none that really evolve and get like really good stats, so this would be fun. Ability would be something maybe like Cursed Body, and evolution line I think would all have to be new forms. Okay, next up is Hone-Edged. For this one, it was actually fun creating this sprite because there's no pixel art, official pixel art for Hone-Edge. So I just had to create this one myself completely. The original is of course based on like a cursed European style sword. So of course I had to make a Hisuian Hone-Edge, a Japanese style sword. And this one is kind of based on like a Japanese training sword, which is usually made out of wood, and the legendary sword Kusanagi, also known as the grass cutter. The typing would obviously be grass and steel. You might think that is a bad typing, you know, fire exists and everything, but I will get that up. Fire is not a problem for this guy. Ability, I'm not really sure about for Hone-Edge, but I definitely know for the evolution. Now, let me talk about the evolution. As I mentioned, this is based on the legendary sword Kusanagi, or the full name is Kusanagi no Tsurugi, I think. Again, sorry for pronunciations. And the story of the Kusanagi is really long, so I will explain all of it right now in like condensed, summarized version of it. Basically, the legendary hero Susanoo was banished from heaven by his sister Amaterasu, and he was wandering around Japan, met this couple with one daughter, and the couple used to have 8 daughters, but 7 of them were eaten by this 8-headed serpent called the Orochi. And Susanoo, being the douchebag that he kind of was, agreed that he would slay that snake if he would get that daughter's hand in marriage. And of course, the parents were thinking like, I guess it's better for our daughter to be alive with this douche than dead and eaten by a snake. So, yeah, okay. So Susanoo managed to defeat Orochi, the 8-headed serpent. And while he was cutting Orochi to pieces, his sword suddenly broke, and inside Orochi, he found this magical sword that became eventually known as the Kusanagi sword. And Susanoo offered this sword to Amaterasu in order to get back into heaven, which was really cool of her to let do that. And then later, much later, Amaterasu's grandson got with this sword, and he was in a pretty bad situation where bad people were coming after the grandson, and eventually got into a situation where the grandson was in the middle of a burning field of grass. Now, the grandson, I don't remember his name by the way, started swinging the Kusanagi sword around and figured out that the sword can control wind, which is cool. And with the ability to control wind as well, it got the ability to redirect the direction of the fire. So that is kind of the story of the Kusanagi no Tsurugi. And this is a great sword, so eventually Hone-Edge would evolve into great sword that would look more like the Kusanagi sword, and it would evolve by defeating a snake-like Pokemon, kind of like Susanoo defeated Orochi and then found the Kusanagi sword. And Hone-Edge is of course a spirit-habiting sword, so this sword that already looks kind of broken will break and it will go onto this legendary sword. And for the ability, it would be like Blessing of the Wind or something like that called, and it will give like stab boost, same type attack bonus for every flying type move, and immunity to fire. So that's my idea for the evolution, a lot based on mythology. And yeah, and Kusanagi sword is also known as the grass cutting sword. So grass and steel and honage here already has some like grassy elements on it. The cloth of the honage is replaced by kind of like a vine, which is very much like the grass aesthetic already. So that's everything about honage. Lastly, I want to talk about Hisuian Gothitelle. Now, Gothitelle is a very unpopular Pokemon. Kinda no one talks about her, but I do like Gothitelle. Now, the original Gothitelle is based on, well, obviously a Goth. A little bit of modern fashion, which is why it looks weird, bows everywhere. Kind of like reminds me of a fashion display as well, like a clothing store display would display bows like that maybe. And then also a bit about Romani psychics, according to Bulbapedia, I think it was. So this new one is based on winter wear, chess. It looks kind of like a chess piece, little crown on its head. It's like the queen piece in chess. And what other people wear have black lips, really cool, and really mysterious. Well, that is, I know you're thinking about it, it is the Ainu people that are native to Hokkaido. So also a little bit of Ainu inspiration here as well. The typing would be Ice Psychic, as you can see. And I was thinking for ability, because it is based on chess, I was thinking something, a new ability called maybe like the Royal Advantage, because the queen piece is really powerful in chess and moves really well when the board is open. I was thinking like it could give a significant speed boost if the battlefield is clear, so no stealth rocks, no weather conditions, no weird auras or any other obstacles in the way. But I was talking about this with my friend and she actually suggested having a signature move for this Gothitelle called the Queen's Gambit, which is an actual chess move, not just the name of a Netflix show. And what this does is Queen's Gambit is a very all or nothing move in chess. So Queen's Gambit in Pokemon would kind of work like belly drum, where it would lower its defenses but greatly boost attack and say accuracy. So there would be a lot of disadvantages, but also if you manage to survive until like next turn, it would become really powerful, which is really cool. And you can see winterwear. There's like earmuffs. Ainu inspiration is like black lips, which some Ainu women have. The headband is also Ainu inspiration. Then winterwear, you can see like these fluffy balls here on the ears as well, and kind of gloves, and just winterwear looking also small detail. If you look at it, has like two little lines in its dress. Those are pockets because women's wear needs more pockets, especially like pants. But yeah, women need pockets. If you're a woman, I know you need pockets. You should have all your clothing have pockets. Pockets are really great. I like pockets. Anyway, and lastly, for like evolution line, I think it would all have to be new forms again. But yeah, nothing more to it. And yeah, what do you think about all of these forms, and what kind of forms would you like to see yourself? Let me know down in the comments. Again, I really appreciate all of your comments, and just thanks for watching. I really appreciate everyone watching my videos, and if you really liked what I had to say, check out my other videos as well and subscribe. But I don't have anything else to say right now. So I just see you guys next time. Bye bye.